Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. I have a fun video for you today, so stay tuned. But before we get to that, Brayden, we love you so much. We miss you and we are praying for you. So with all of that being said, let's get to crafting.
Okay, DIY number one. So I printed out some pictures of Oliver on my inkjet printer, and I am just taking my clear coat spray from Rust-Oleum, and I'm going to spray those pictures. And then I waited for 15 minutes or more, and I sprayed them again, and I did that 3 times. I just wanted to get them nice and coated well so that the ink did not smear on me. So while those were drying, I came in and I took a 14-inch wood round. I'm finding the middle part of that wood round, and then I'm going to take this ruler here and I'm going to draw a line all the way down the middle. And then I'm going to use my painter's tape to tape off that section. And then I'm going to paint one half with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Snow White. Once it was dry, I removed the tape and put it over the white part. And then I painted the other side with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ocean. Once they were both dry, I took my Mod Podge here and I'm just going to put it all over the white section of my wood round here, and I'm just going to brush it all on and then let it dry. Once it was dry, I had cut out my picture of Oliver here, and I'm just going to lay him down like I would normally do with my decoupaging. I put some parchment paper over it to protect that paper and then use my heat press to reactivate that Mod Podge so it sticks. And then after that, look how adorable that face is. Oh my goodness. I went over it with some more Mod Podge just to give it a protective coat. And then I created some wordings with my Cricut. I used my Frisco stencil vinyl, and I'm just adding them on here. And then I'm going to go over it with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. Now, I was really struggling on what to create, and I think I needed a little bit of a break. And I remembered that I had a few people ask if I would do some DIYs with Oliver's picture on it. And I thought, what a great idea. Maybe this would be the time to do it. So that's what we're doing on not all of the DIYs today, but some of them. And if I know you don't have an Oliver, but you might have your own pet that you would like to do something about. So this is just an idea for you, as well as some decor for me. So after that was all dry, I removed the vinyl. And then I'm going to just use my little Cricut tool here to remove all the small pieces that are in between all the letters. And once I had all the vinyl removed, then I am going to use my Big Mouth Crocodile to go ahead and make some hanger holes, because these do not have hanger holes. If you're using a wood round from Dollar Tree, then they already have a hanger hole and you don't have to worry about it. Then I'm going to use some of my favorite braided jute cord that I get from Amazon. I do have a link to the Amazon store in my description box, and it's in there. I use this stuff all the time. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I love this stuff. But I'm going to go down the middle section with that jute cord, and then I'm going to go all the way around the outer part of my sign. And then I'm just going to use it. Man, I thought I cut some of this out. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, here I'm just going to finish it off. I see here, I thought I cut that off and I was just showing this part. And then I'm just going to use that same cord as a hanger, and I just put some tape on the end to help it thread through those holes a little easier so it doesn't spread apart. And then I'm going to tie some knots on the end. Once I get the length that I want, tie some knots on the end, and we have a hanger. And I absolutely love how this came out. That is my most favorite picture of Oliver. I love his little tongue sticking out. I think it's so adorable. You have to let me know what you think in the comment box below.
Okay, guys, I want to say thank you so much for your patience with me not having a video on Sunday. We had our anniversary on the Friday before Easter, and we, believe it or not, our life just lately has just been so crazy with everyone moving out, my sister being here visiting and stuff. trying to get the house back in order since the family moved out. And yeah, I know, I love you too. Um, so we almost forgot that it was our anniversary. It just came up all of a sudden. Monday, I'm like, I looked at my husband, I'm like, do you know what Friday is? And he had to stop and think, and he says, yeah, it's April 3rd. It's our anniversary. And I'm like, yeah. So we didn't make any kind of plans. We had no idea what we were going to do. So we ended up just spending the day together. We went around town. We went to a park with Oliver, took him and walked around the park, and just spent some good quality time together. And then went to dinner, of course, and afterwards came home to relax, only to see our favorite news guy come on TV because there were tornadoes. And at the time, it wasn't in our area. It was just west of us and a little southwest of us. And so we're sitting there, and he's like, yeah, I think this area is going to get a tornado warning soon. And I looked, and it was our area. I'm like, oh. So yes, we ended up going to our storm shelter for about 45 minutes maybe. And yeah, there were actually some small EF1, EF0 or EF1 tornadoes that were just a few miles away in areas that I go to all the time. Luckily, there was very little damage, and we didn't have any damage, just some tree limbs around our area on the ground. But yeah, quite a way to end our anniversary, but it is this season for it. So hopefully we don't get any more this year. Hopefully that's it. But yeah, we'll see. But I'll tell you what, we still have been having some nice warm days. I'm just loving it. We'll have some nice warm days for a while, and then it will go down and drop for a few days, and then it'll come back up. So I'm really loving it. Oliver's loving it too. He tries to get me to go outside. I'll be in the middle of crafting, and he'll be begging me to go outside. And he just stands there and sniffs the air and looks around, and he's loving it. So anyways, thank you guys so much. I just did not have time to get my projects done. And honestly, I felt like I needed a little bit of a break because I was just exhausted and I just couldn't think of projects. Nothing was coming to me. And so I decided, you know what, I need to take a little bit of a break and delay my video until today. So thank you guys for your patience. But before we get on to the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda, and this is my Oliver, who loves my toothpaste breath. And we are so glad you are here. If you enjoy home decor on a budget, I would love it if you'd hit that red subscribe button, become part of our YouTube family. And for those of you who come back and watch every video, I appreciate you guys so very much, and you mean the world to me. So with all of that, let's continue on with the video.
Okay, here's DIY number 2. So I'm going to take some tumbling tower blocks here, and I'm going to glue 2 of them end to end. And then I'm going to take, I think this was 6 of them, and I am going to glue them to that 2-piece end piece that I just glued together. That was a mouthful to say. Anyways, I'm going to put some on the ends of those 6 as well as the side that's connecting to the one next to it. And we're going to do this all the way across until all 6 of them are glued on to that 2-block base. Then I took 2 more blocks and I'm going to glue them to the top of those 6. And then I'm going to take 2 more and I'm going to glue them on top of the last 2 that I just glued on, just like you see right there. Then I'm going to take some more. I'm going to take 2 more and glue them end to end. And I'm going to then glue on the bottom part. I made 4 of those. I took some tumbling tower blocks and cut them down to pieces because I couldn't do a full 3 and 2 weren't big enough. And I'm just going to go around that base with all of these, and I'm just going to glue them together and then glue them to that base just like you see, and then add the little small piece there on the corner of the base. And then after I have those all done and I have my little base all completed, I made 3 more, and then I'm going to paint all of them with Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. And once they're all dry, I decided to take one of my little wood hearts that I had, and I'm going to trace it with my paint marker here, my white paint marker. I'm going to trace my heart. And as you can see, I have all those little pictures of Oliver. I have some of my favorite pictures of him. And I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm just going to paint in my white paint inside of that heart, just going very slowly around the heart to make sure I stay right along that line. And then just fill it all in with my white paint. And then once they were all dry, I'm going to take, I guess I'm going to make you see me paint the rest. There we go. I'm going to take my dishwasher safe Mod Podge and I'm going to paint not just inside the heart, but I'm going to paint the whole inside of this, basically my base part of it. That's because these are going to be coasters, which you probably figured out. But, you know, sometimes glasses weep, I guess you call it. I don't know. Is that what you call it? Where they get moisture on the outside? Anyways, and I just wanted to have that dishwasher safe Mod Podge on top. So after I had it on there, I just laid my picture down on top of that Mod Podge, and then I'm just going to go over it with a little bit more Mod Podge. I'm not using my heat press or anything like that. This paper's thick enough that there was one that I did get a little bit of a wrinkle in, but I think it was more about the crease from the um, tumbling tower block, but there they are. That's all I did. I covered it. You might want to put a couple of covers of that dishwasher safe Mod Podge, but oh my goodness, I just love these. Oh, I love them. Okay, it is a time for a celebration of your recreations, and we got quite a few today since I didn't post a video on Sunday. So look at all these pretty pieces that Elizabeth made. Oh my goodness, that red rooster one and the purple wreath. Oh my goodness, I love them. And then Maggie, she recreated my little bunny. I love how this came out. It is so cute, Maggie. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then we have Nicole. I love her little bunny and her gnome, and I love the way you did the book with those solo wood flowers. They're just beautiful. And then adorable Corrine, she painted the salt and pepper shaker, and she made those little bunny pillows out of the chair covers from Dollar Tree and her little chicks. They're so adorable. And then Carissa, look at these pretty pieces. These are Kathy Joe dupes, not mine, but that's okay. I love them, Carissa. Thank you, ladies. And if you have something that you've created that you would like me to showcase, you can email pictures to rusticandlacediy@gmail.com, or you can send them to me through Instagram or Facebook Messenger. Okay, on to DIY number 3. We're done with the Oliver DIYs. I didn't want to bombard you with all of them. So I have the backing of these window frames that I have from Dollar Tree. You probably can't find them anymore. So you could use one of these if you can find one of those at Dollar Tree, or you could also use their plastic fence pieces that are in the arch shape. So I'm going to take this. Now there were holes on the bottom, and so I'm just using my ruler to mark a line right above that hole, and I'm just going to cut them out with my huge honkin' scissors I got from Harbor Freight Tools. And then after that, I'm going to connect those together, and then I'm going to lay this all out, but I'm taking those longer wood pieces from Dollar Tree and a couple of the smaller ones. I think the longer ones are 16 and the smaller ones 8 inches, but I'm just figuring out here how wide I need that smaller piece, and then I'm going to mark it, and I'm going to take 4 of those. I'm going to tape them together, and then I took them out to my miter saw and cut along that marking so that they would be the right width. Then I'm going to take all of those pieces, for the longer pieces and for the smaller pieces, and I'm going to go over them with my Waverly Antique Wax. I'm going to brush it all on, and then I am going to wipe it all off with a paper towel. Now these are like maybe a half inch thick. I think it's probably more like a quarter. They're not super thick. I think they might be just a little bit over a quarter, but if you can't find these at Dollar Tree, you could always go to a hardware store, and they do cut things down for you. So you could do that too. Or you could get the miter boxes that have the saw. Those are really easy to use and cut wood down as well. So I'm just going to start connecting those pieces together to make a rectangle like you see. And I'm just using my Titebond Quick and Thick Multi-Surface Glue. And I'm just putting it along the edges. I'm kind of using my thumb there to show me how far to add my glue. And then this one I just kind of eyed. And then I'm just going to add them all together. And just kind of, I pressed with my hands against them to give it a little bit of pressure. And then I went around after about 5 minutes and I used my staple gun to just staple in some, and these are 1/4 inch staples and they don't go through. So it's barely a 1/4 inch thick are these wood pieces. Then I used my Tite Bond glue again to connect those two plastic pieces together. And again, these came from behind those frames. They're like two-sided. And so then I clipped them to hold that glue together, to hold it together. And then I laid it down on the back of my wood piece, and I'm just using my marker here to mark where they lay. So that way I know exactly where to put my glue. And so I'm just going to go and do this all the way around it. And then I'm going to use my Tite Bond glue again. And I'm just going to put my glue all along the inside part of that line, or the lines that I created. And then I'm going to lay my plastic pieces right back where it goes. And then once I had it in position, in the right position, and everything was matching, I did end up taking some heavier paint bottles and just kind of laid it on top of them just to help it set. And then I waited maybe 5 minutes at the most. It doesn't take very long for that Tite Bond glue to set. Then after I was done, I went ahead and took my stapler, and I am going to go around and staple those in just to give it that added strength. Stability is probably the right word. Anyways, and these I'm going to actually put up in my bedroom. So after I was done with that, I decided I was going to make a shelf to go on the bottom, but I changed my mind. So I'm going to take 10 of these bigger blocks. I got these from Dollar Tree. You can get them from Five Below or Dollar Tree. Look Dollar Tree first because they're $3. Five Below, I guess they're $6 now. So I'm just going to glue them together using my Tite Bond glue and hot glue. And then I'm going to do a strip of 9 and that way, and 2 strips of 3 that way. And then I'm going to connect the strip of 9 and the strip of 10 together using my Tite Bond glue and hot glue. And you'll see how I do that here. I'm going to stand one of up. I think the 10 is the one standing up. Then I'm going to take my Tite Bond glue here again and my hot glue, and I'm going to glue the sides on as well. And just like that. So it almost looks like a couch. Then I made 2 of those, and then I'm going to go over them with my Waverly Antique Wax again. You just brush it all on, wipe off the excess with a paper towel. Once it was all dry, I'm going to take my Tite Bond glue and hot glue again, and I'm going to add it to just that bottom piece. That's the 9 piece set of blocks. And I'm going to just use that, and I'm going to add my window frame, I guess you could call it. I don't know what you call it, to it, my backing to that. And then I'm like, okay, it's a little flimsy. So I went ahead and took 2 more of those blocks and went over them with my antique wax. And then I'm again using my hot glue and my Tite Bond glue just to add that to the basket. You're not going to see it. It's going to be covered up. I almost didn't paint them, but I thought, no, I'm just going to be thorough and paint them just in case. So there we go. And then I took some little small half beads. I painted them black because of those 3 holes in the middle of this black plastic piece. I wanted to cover them up, so I'm just going to cover them up. And I just love this. I just think it's perfect. Then I added some floral foam to the inside of it, and I'm just going to add my boxwood greenery. I love this stuff. I get it from Walmart. I just love it. To me, it's the best I've seen. And I'm just going to fill it up. And I think I used, for both of them, maybe 2.5 of those bushes, maybe 2 to 2.5. And then I'm going to take a sawtooth hanger that I had. I keep all the sawtooth hangers off of projects that I don't use, and I keep them. And I'm just marking the center spot, and then I lay my sawtooth hanger down over that center spot, mark where those screws go so that if it moves, I know where it's supposed to go. And then I just use my little screwdrivers here to screw them in, and there they are. I love these. I have them hanging up in my bedroom, one on each side of my husband's dresser, and I just love them. And so does he. He thought they were beautiful. Oh, you have to let me know what you think about these in the comment box below. Okay, now it's on to DIY number 4, our final DIY. Oh, so I had this beautiful canvas picture that I got from Dollar Tree a couple of years ago. You could use any kind of canvas that you might have or picture if you want to recreate this. I'm going to remove all the staples from the back of it just using my staple remover, and I used a little pick as well. Sometimes it was hard to get it with that. Then I'm just going to remove it. I'm going to keep that little frame for a future project because I'm sure I could use it. And here I was sitting there thinking, do I want to use it now? But I changed my mind and just instead I decided to use these two. These came, I used the backing off of 2 of these. The other 2, I had already had those in my stash, the backing. And I'm just going to go over and use some white chalk paint to do some heavy distressing. Now, if you don't have these, which I know they haven't had these for years, like I said, you could use the fence post. You might have to use some cardboard behind it or something to keep it straight. Or they have picture frames or mirrors now that you can sometimes find that have the arch shape that you could do the same kind of thing with. So I'm going to take some of these little mini frames from Dollar Tree and I'm going to lay it on the back side of the cardboard signs that I took off of there. And I am just going to trace it so I know where to trim. And then I'm just going to use my scissors and just to trim it down so that we don't have it over coming out from behind the picture frame. And then once that was done, I went over those and the 2 frames with my Waverly chalk paint in the color white. I just wanted to kind of cover up some of that wording in case it showed through the canvas. Now I just laid my frame down on the canvas on where I want it, and then I'm just going to trim all around that frame. And then after that, I decided to turn it around and use a pencil to kind of trace, just like I did with the little cardboard signs. And then after that, I'm going to trim it all up so that way you're not seeing the canvas past the frame. And then I'm going to take my Titebond glue. I'm going to brush it all on that cardboard sign. And then I'm going to place my little cutout here right on top. And after I had that done, I'm going to use that same Titebond glue, which I absolutely love that stuff. And I'm going to just go along the frame. Instead of leaving that long line of it, I'm going to use my finger to just smooth it out. That way it doesn't gush out of my frame. I went to the doctor's last week and I was laughing at myself because I looked at my fingers and I had dried glue all over my fingers from whatever project I was working on. Anyways, just funny thing. I'm going to take my silver gilding wax and go all around the edge, the outer and inner edge of that. And then I'm just going, because there was gray in the pictures, that's why I use silver. And then I just use my hot glue to glue those pictures on. I'm going to use my Titebond and hot glue to glue those 2 together like that. And I thought about what else should I do, and I just decided to just do this. I'm going to take some of these mini roses. I'm going to glue them to the bottom of every opening. I'm going to add some of the small leaves to it. And I decided to just leave it like that. You could put a candle in the middle of it. You could put, if you had a little bird cut out, you could put that in the middle of it, or whatever kind of design you might, or picture that you might have, you could put something in it to match that. But here it is. I think it's a really fun, interesting little piece. You have to let me know what you think about this one as well. Okay, the final reveal is coming up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I have a taste test at the end of this from Try Treats. If you want to watch, stay tuned. I will be back again on Monday for the Just Our Imagination Challenge, so stay tuned for that. And with all of that, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Well, guess what? It's that time again. I got another box. You can hear me moving the paper around. Another box from Try Treats. Oh, let me show you the box that I got. It's from Try Treats. And if for those of you that are not familiar with Try Treats, it is a monthly subscription that they send out that has treats from different countries in it. And it is so much fun. It's a little scary once in a while, but it is so much fun. So let's see what they sent me this month. They sent me treats from the United Kingdom. So this should not be too bad, hopefully. Let's see. So they have that little card that just gives you, it talks about some facts, lets you know some information about the country, and then it gives you a recipe on the back. This one is fish and chips. And then it gives you another, just a postcard with some information about the United Kingdom. And then it gives you a little sheet that talks about the treats that are inside. And then on this side, they give you a spot where you can mark which ones were your favorite and which ones were the worst or the weirdest. So that's a lot of fun too. And I'll tell you what, my grandkids, they love it when they see this little box because they're like, ooh, what's in there? And then they devour it. So if there's something that I really like and want, I have to hide it. So, okay, let's see. This is says snacks, potato puffs, cheese and onion flavored. Okay, so let's try this out. This does not look like it's too scary at all. At least I hope there's no seafood stuff. Okay, I can handle cheese and onions. Yeah, not bad. Those are not bad at all. Now, oh, I love salt and vinegar chips. And these are sea salt and malt vinegar. Which, if I'm not a big fish eater, like I said, I don't really like fish. The times that I have had it, I like malt vinegar on it. Okay, so let's see what their salt and vinegar chips taste like. Let's see if I can find a small one. I really like those. I'm going to hide those from my grandkids. Oh, no. Tato. T-A-Y-T-O. Cheese and onion tater chips. The original Irish crisp. Okay. We're going to try this. It looks like there's a lot of like chip kind of stuff in here. Okay, let's try this. Those are pretty good. Now, the next one. Tato Meanies. Pickle flavor. Ooh, pickle onion flavored. I like dill pickle chips. In fact, Lay's dill pickle chips. Oh, I can't stop eating those. I don't buy them because I just have heart. I could eat the whole bag in one sitting. I just love them. But, okay, this is what they look like. Kind of like puffy. They're not as strong flavored as the dill pickle chips here, but they're good. They're good. Okay, let's see. Let's do this one. Okay, now this is Monster Munch Pickled Onion. So it's kind of the same thing. It's just a different brand, but I think it's going to be the same thing. They look the same. So let's see. They pretty much taste the same. That one, I think the pickle flavor is a little stronger on that one. Okay, these are baked treats. Golden Crunch Oaty biscuits. That's what those look like. Let's see. Sorry, I'm looking ahead at what they are. Okay, so they look like a little cookie. Oliver's looking for the crumbs. Kind of tastes like a sandy cookie. I think that's what they call them, or the blondies. But they're good. They are good. Okay, a trip to Hollywood. Puppets. Toffee. Milk, chocolate, chewy toffee. That's what those look like. Let's try these. Try these out. They are chewy. No. See, when I think of toffee, I think of the crunchy, buttery, and this just tastes like chocolate and caramel, which is fine. I'm probably kind of like Milk Duds. I'm not a huge fan of chocolate and caramel together. So I don't eat much stuff with chocolate and caramel, but those are okay. Okay. Oh, I'm starting to open this. This is, that's what that is. It's orange flavored cream filled biscuit bar with a chocolate coating. Now, I love chocolate and orange together. I love those chocolate orange sticks that have the, like the jellied orange in them. Yeah, I love those. Let's see what this is like. I like those. I'm going to hide those for my grandkids. Another one. But it's mint. I like chocolate and mint together too. So let's try that. It's a strong mint flavor. But it's good. It's good. And these are Chew-Its. Cola flavored. So that's what those look like. I'm guessing they're going to be a chewy candy. So let's see. Yep, they look kind of like a Starburst. That's what they look like. And let's open it up and see if I can get this open. You can't have any of this, but I'll give you a treat when we're done. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Not my favorite. It does taste like cola, but it has a weird taste to it. Yeah, I would say that's probably my least favorite out of all of this. I don't think my grandkids will like that one, but we'll see. Sometimes they surprise me. Okay, get that out of my mouth. So again, Try Treats. You go to trytreats.com. I will have a link to their website, their Facebook page, Instagram, that kind of stuff. Plus, there's going to be a discount. It's I think a 15% discount if you use my code Rustic and Lace DIY, all in caps. You use that, and on your first subscription box, you'll get that 15% discount. So if you want to try it, Try Treats. It would be a great gift idea. We have Mother's Day coming up. If you have a mother that maybe likes little treats and snacks, it might be a great thing to set her up for a couple months maybe, or however long you want, and let her try some different treats. That's a fun idea. Or even just for someone's birthday, anniversary, or just because, or if you just want to try it yourself, go to trytreats.com. Again, I'll have links to them in my description box. So with all of that, we're going to finish this and we're going to say goodbye. So goodbye, everyone.